Well, who do we have here? Is that a fellow lonely, single, cripplingly depressed human being I see? Well, welcome to the club. Alright? Welcome to the club. And also welcome to my least favorite day of the entire year. And what better way to celebrate such a terrible holiday such as Valentine's Day than to watch horror movies? Because nothing warms my heart more than seeing happy, healthy, young couples in love get brutally torn apart by a pickaxe. It is out of this world, okay? I just can't get enough of it. It cheers me up till no end. And of course, the movie that I am referencing would be none other than My Bloody Valentine. So all of you single ladies and gentlemen, let's all band together and review such an amazing work of art that is My Bloody Valentine from the 80s, 1980 something. You know what? I don't want to look it up, so I'm gonna have the date right here. Yep, that's when it came out. You're welcome. And if you aren't single, then I guess you can stay too. Happy Valentine's Day. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe, okay? I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I know you can do it. I make a milestone video after every 100 subscribers that I get, so please subscribe, because I need some loving today, okay? Because it's certainly not coming from anyone other than Gerald here. And you guys, if you subscribe, so go do that. Okay, so this film starts out, there's an opening scene that has really almost nothing to do with the movie other than to catch your eye and be like, ooh, shiny. There are two miners, okay? And hold up. When I say miners, okay, we are talking gas masks and pickaxes, okay? I'm talking about coal dust and inhaling cancer type of miners, alright? We are not talking about children at all in this video at any point, okay? So don't get that mixed up. Miners, meaning coal mine, okay? Cool guys in all black wearing the gas mask, okay? Just want to clarify that before we move on. So there are two miners, okay, in a coal mine. And they're just walking around, and one of them starts stripping, okay? So they're about to go at it in a mine shaft, okay? Because, I mean, what better place to do that, right? And instead of, getting it on, the other coal miner stabs her through the heart with a pickaxe, and that's the opening scene. Pretty cool special effects, practical effects, pretty cool. She's got a tattoo of a heart right where her heart should be. And it stabs right through, kind of like ironic stuff, and that's how we start. The next scene, we get introduced to all of our characters, which, I'm gonna be completely honest, I know almost none of their names, and it doesn't really matter, okay? There's a lot of them. There's a bunch of guys. They're all also miners. They work in coal mines, okay? That's what they do. There's like 4 or 5... They just keep adding characters throughout the movie, then I don't know where they came from, but they're all miners, okay? And they're all showering together, as gay men usually do. They all also have girlfriends as well, because, again, Valentine's Day movie, okay? Gotta have the romance. Okay, so starting off, we have, like, the class clown, who I forgot his name. His name's right here. Doesn't have a girlfriend. None of them actually really like him that much. Then we have this other guy who I also forgot his name, but he's got, like, a super radical mustache, and that guy obviously has a girlfriend. And then we have these two other characters who are, like, kind of like the main characters. Like, there's 3 main characters, alright? And that would be Axel, TJ, and Sarah. And it's a nice little love triangle, okay? I'm not gonna, like, dive too deep into it, because no one cares. But TJ used to be Sarah's girlfriend, and then he leaves without telling anyone for, like, a year or something stupid, and then he comes back, and oh no, his girl's dating Axel, and he's like, what the hell, man? And now they hate each other, and now they're trying to fight over this one girl, and this one girl doesn't know what she wants. It's like this whole thing that, I don't care about. Okay, but that's a notable thing, that this is going to be a main plot point where it's like, she's mine, no, she's mine. And she's like, no, you're both mine. No, actually, neither of you are mine. I'm mine. I don't know. They're all in a town called Valentine Bluff. And we're also conveniently like a few days away from Valentine's Day. So this whole town, I kid you not, is covered from head to toe. If a town had a head, Valentine's Day, what can I say? If a town had a head and toes, it would be covered, okay, with Valentine's Day decorations just strung up in the streets. It's beautiful, and I'm not kidding. It is. I love the holidays, if you couldn't tell, and I love decorating, even though I have no decorations. It's fine. It gives me a good feeling, okay? It genuinely does. Seeing all the decorations and stuff, it gives you a nice little warm feeling where it's like, Valentine's Day. Like, no one decorates for Valentine's Day, but it's a special time, okay? It gives you a nice little feeling. I like it, all right? It's a nice little homey, I don't know if that's the right word, but it feels like a nice little homey movie, okay? I like it. And they're decorating for the big Valentine's Day dance. And all of the town decorations and the dance are all orchestrated by Mabel, who's like the decoration committee woman, alright? We've got her, we have the chief, and the mayor, and they're all kind of working together with like the decorations and the planning of the, the dance and stuff, and they're also important characters, so I thought I'd mention them. So all of our main miners and their girlfriends are at this bar, which is a typical hangout place for this movie, so we're gonna keep coming back to this, but they're at the bar. And we have this cryptic old man for a bartender, okay? And he's always the one that nobody takes seriously. He says all these tall tales and stuff, and he tells a tale of the tragic events that happened, like, 21 years ago on Valentine's Day. The Valentine's Day dance used to be a annual dance that happened every year for over 100 years, okay? Wow. And one year they were having the party just like usual, and there were 5 miners in the coal mine still, okay? They're hard at work, and their supervisors that are above ground, they usually wait for them to come up, make sure they're all safe, and then they leave. But guess what? They couldn't do that, okay? Because they just had to get to this Valentine's Day party. They were missing out, okay? They were missing out on this party, and they just left the 5 workers down in the coal mines by themselves. Not only did they just leave them there, they also forgot to check the methane levels below the mines. And I'm not exactly sure how this happened, but the entire mine shaft blew up while they were down there, and all of them died. That is except for one. There was one survivor by the name... What's his name? By the name of Harry Warden. Harry Warden was the only survivor, okay? They spent 6 days digging him out of the rubble because he was trapped down there, and he had to eat the other, 4 people down there to stay alive. So, naturally, when they found him, he wasn't in the best state of mind, we could say. So they sent him off to the psych ward for exactly 1 year and released him on Valentine's Day, the year after the incident. Now, you never guess what Harry did. He dressed up in his nice little coal miner uniform with a pickaxe. He found the supervisors, and he killed both of them. And what he likes to do is he likes to carve out the actual heart of the human being that he kills. He puts it in a nice little chocolate heart box, and he ships it off to the chief of police every time. And he writes nice little letters in these little heart-shaped, little cards. And he's like, yeah, if you ever host a Valentine's Day party or dance ever again, I'm going to kill everyone you know. And that was his warning. So naturally, they didn't have the Valentine's Day dance for 20 years until, of course, today. Why they decided to bring the dance back, I have no idea. But they did, okay? And let's just say Harry wasn't very happy with that. Now, Harry is actually in the psych ward again. They sent him back after, he killed 2 people and carved their heart out. So he can't really exactly kill anybody right now. Right? So the bartender tells that whole story, and all of the main characters are like, okay, so no one told me you're actually insane. Shut up. And no one believed him. He's like, well, heed my warning. You kids are all gonna die. And stuff like that. Now, the next scene that we focus on Mabel, the one who put up all these decorations and for this dance and stuff. And she's at the dry cleaners, okay? And she's washing her clothes and stuff. She goes into the back room, and somebody sneaks in. Someone sneaks in, a certain somebody in full coal miner attire, who also had a pickaxe. And by the way, when they breathe through this gas mask that they have, it is Darth Vader on crack. It is so obnoxious the way that he breathes. And he sets a nice little present on the table for her. And then literally he steps aside and hides behind a corner and waits for her to open it. She opens it. She's like, "Oh, what a nice little what a nice little poem we have in here. She's like,
Roses are red, violets are blue,
one of them's dead.
and so are you.
And then he pops out, oh my god! And he stabs her with a pickaxe. Again, carves her heart out, puts it in a box, and shoves her into a dryer, which I'm assuming is a dryer, because when the chief of police comes around and finally figures out that, you know, one of the dryers is completely covered in blood, which he apparently couldn't see until it popped open with her charred corpse sticking out of it with no heart in it. Which, I have to say, pretty awesome practical effects once again for the 80s. Nice. Completely charred. I don't think a washing machine would do that to you. However, I don't recall having any dryers have like a window to see how the clothes are looking, so I don't actually know what this machine is because, you know, I wasn't from the 80s. Sorry. But she's completely burned, so I'm assuming dryer. But now we got the mayor and the chief of police there with poor old Mabel, whose charred, heartless body is now laying on a stretcher, about to be loaded onto an ambulance. And this would be the second kill of the season. The Valentine's Day season, okay? Because that woman in the opening scene, I don't know if I mentioned this. At the beginning of the film, the chief of police and the mayor got sent a nice little heart box with a heart, an actual human heart in it, saying that, you know, the killings are going to start again. So this is technically the second Valentine's Day gift that he got. Sorry, my bad for bouncing all over the place. But this is the second kill. All right, so they decide maybe we shouldn't have the dance, being that Harry's killing everybody. I think he's mad. All right, maybe we shouldn't have the Valentine's Day dance anymore. So the mayor's like, tear everything down. All of those decorations. I don't want to see a single heart anywhere at all. Cancel the dance and tear the entire town down. I don't want to see anything. So that's what they do. They get rid of all the decorations, they shut down the dance, and our main characters aren't very happy about that. So they're all back at the bar and they're like, you know what, screw it. I don't care about the stupid dance. We're gonna have our own party. We're gonna host our own party at the hangout at the mine. Now, I originally thought that they meant we're gonna have the party in the mine, and I would have had a field day with that, but that doesn't happen till later, trust me. But they set up this party at this hangout place that's above the mine. It's got a pool table, it's got a bunch of cool games and stuff. So they set it all up. They have all, you know, the alcohol and the dancing and the pool tables and the making out and stuff. And while this party's going on, the bartender doesn't like that very much. So he goes out to the mine. I don't know where he is, but he's setting up a trap to scare the kids into thinking that Harry Warden's back, because they framed Mabel's death as just a heart attack. They didn't let everyone know that she's, like, you know, charred right now. It was a heart attack, because her heart's gone. Certainly attacked her heart, huh? But he sets up this trap where he puts, like, this miner outfit in, like, this closet, so that at any time you open the door, this miner guy, Harry, like, sticks out his arm with a pickaxe and is supposed to scare him, you know? And this idiot keeps testing it out. He's like, oh, yeah. And he closes the door and he goes, oh my, this is gonna get him good. And then you'll never guess what happens next. He opens the door and the actual Harry Styles comes out and he stabs him through, like, whatever this is, his jaw, like the underside of his jaw, and it comes out his eye, and his eye pops out. It's pretty sick, okay? And he drags him because he's dead. At this point, he died from that attack, and he's dragging him across the floor to an unknown location, which we'll find later on in the movie. But the bartender man is dead. He's gone. Thank God. I didn't like him. And we cut back to the party. They're all having a good time, okay? There's this stupid fight between Axel and TJ, saying like, oh, Sarah wants me. And he's like, no, actually, Sarah loves me, and she's just like pretending to love you because she feels bad. And then they start having like this really terrible like fight. I don't know, Axel punches TJ twice. It doesn't matter, okay? It's dumb. They have a nice little fight while this is happening. This other character I have never seen before. He's hungry, his tummy's rumbling. He goes into the kitchen to get himself a boiling hot dog, and you'll never guess what happens after this. He bends his face over a boiling pot of water, and guess who shows up behind him? It's Harry Warden, or Styles, either one. And he shoves his face into the pot of boiling water, which is kind of like, I think, looking back, when I watched Thanksgiving, the 2023 film by Eli Roth, amazing movie. I think they got inspiration from this. Because, like, there's actually kind of, like, a lot of similarities between that movie and My Bloody Valentine. You know, Harry shoves his face into the pot of boiling water and then throws him in the freezer and cuts his heart out and throws it into the pot of boiling water for the girls to find it later. And in Thanksgiving, the pilgrim guy shoves that woman's face into that I thought it was like cold water, I thought, and like shoves her face onto the freezer door. So it's like kind of the same thing, you know, it's kind of cool. Then after that, we cut to yet another couple that we have never seen before, and they are, once again, about to go at it. And they're in this weird warehouse place that's not like in the little party area. There's a bunch of buildings, okay? There's a bunch of cool buildings, and there's the mines that go down, okay, where the miners go. But we're not there yet. But the party, they're over in this place with a bunch of like clothes hanging. I don't work at a mine shaft, so I don't really know what's going on. But there's a bunch of clothes just like hanging from the ceiling. All right, when you pull the rope, it falls. Okay. I don't know what that's about, but just bear with me here. And they have like a nice little makeshift bed on these two metal benches with like blankets. He's like, "You know what? Hold on, babe. I'm gonna go get a 6-pack of beer. I'll be right back." She's like, "Okay, don't take too long." And guess what? Guess what happens to her when she's alone? You'll never guess. You'll never guess. All the things start falling from the ceiling. All of the water starts turning on. I think this is where they also like take showers. All the spigots are spewing water everywhere, and these things are falling from the ceiling. She's scared. It's a scary moment. And oh no, the bartender falls from the ceiling, and his face is hooked in one of those things where he's like hanging with all the clothes. She's like, "Oh my god!" And she turns around, and Harry's there. Harry the miner. He picks her up by her face. He picks her up by her face and carries her into the other room. That's not possible. I don't think any human being can do that. But he picks her up once again by her face, and he pulls a leather face, sticks her on a meat hook, but it's not actually a meat hook. It's one of those like water spigots, but they're like really sharp for some reason. So he shoves her onto this thing, so now she's just hanging, and he turns the spigot on, and now the water is starting to like pour out of her mouth. So now it's a human faucet. That's pretty sick, right? Happy Valentine's Day! While this is happening, while her boyfriend's getting beer, he goes back to the party to get the beer, not knowing that she's a human water fountain now. They all have the bright idea of, let's go in the mine shaft! So, super awesome radical mustache guy, his girlfriend, Sarah, leaves both of her boyfriends after the fight and goes with this other guy, the class clown that nobody likes. And then there's yet another couple who we've never seen before. All of them go down into the mines because they're like, the mine carts are like a roller coaster. It should be fun. Those things go like 2 miles an hour, and they move like 10 feet. Okay, it's not even a long ride. And they get out and they start exploring the caves. And while that's happening, everybody on top in the party just realized that, oh no, there's actually 2 bodies. Because the boyfriend goes back, he finds his girlfriend, who's now once again spewing water out of her throat, and someone else finds the other guy in the freezer whose face got boiled by hot dog water. So everybody freaks out. They're like, "Oh my god, Harry Styles is back. We gotta go!" And so they do, okay? So TJ and Axel take charge because they're both like, our girlfriend is stuck in the mines right now, and there's a crazy killer on the loose who's dressed in a miner. He's dressed as a miner. If there's anywhere a miner would be, it would be in the mine shaft, okay? We gotta go save our girlfriend. So they have everyone leave. They drive off in their super awesome cars, and both of them cram into this nice little makeshift elevator, and they ascend down into the mines. Nice little side note, we cut to the chief of police, who gets yet another heart-shaped box, great song, with a human heart in it, and being like, "Hey, yeah, you stopped the dance, but you didn't stop the party." He's like, "Oh no." And then he calls everybody. He's like, "I need everyone to go to the mines. There's teenagers dying." So they're on their way. But while all this is happening, everyone down in the mine shaft has no idea that there's a massacre that happened up top, okay? They pull a Scooby-Doo, and they split up down there. Mustache Man, his girlfriend, the class clown, and Sarah all stick together, and that couple, who we conveniently have never seen before, splits off. So, couldn't be setting them up to like die or anything like that, right? And they split off to go do, Valentine's Day activities in a mine shaft. How romantic, right? So they walk down there. They're like, yeah, let's go into the abandoned part of the mine shaft. We haven't been here in years. Why not? Beautiful idea. So they're walking around and boo! TJ comes out of the corner, okay? Scares them. They thought it was Harry Styles. It's not. It's just TJ. And TJ's like, yeah, there's like 2 or 3 dead bodies. We kind of like gotta go. And they're like, stop. He's like, yeah, no, we're all gonna die. We should probably leave. And they're like, yeah, well, that other couple is gone. We don't know where they are. Okay, they're down here somewhere. He's like, what do you mean they're down here somewhere? They're like, I don't know. They're like doing Valentine's Day stuff. I don't know. So they pull another Scooby-Doo and they split up. But instead of splitting up into teams, they decide, let's just free-for-all. How's that sound? So TJ goes in one direction, alone. Super cool, awesome mustache guy goes in the other direction, alone. And they have the class clown guard the 2 women. So mustache guy eventually finds the couple who we didn't see die, but they're just laying on top of each other, just bleeding everywhere. So they're dead, all right? And he turns around, and Harry Styles is there with a nail gun this time, okay? I think this is like the only kill that isn't a pickaxe. He loads a nail gun and puts one in his temple, and then loads it again right between the eyes. Well, right above it. It's his forehead, but still. And super cool mustache guy walks all the way back to where his girlfriend is, Sarah is in the class clown, and then decides to die. And he lays there. His girlfriend is completely petrified because, the most awesome man on the entire planet just died in front of her. The class clown runs away. He leaves the 2 girls and runs away. Okay. Axel is nowhere to be found. TJ is nowhere to be found. And we see Harry Warden walking down the hallway towards him with his pickaxe. Mustache Man's girlfriend is the most insufferable prick because she will not move. She's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm done. I'm not moving. And she does that the entire time they're trying to escape the mines. For the next 20 minutes, she keeps moving, but then she's like, no, I'm stopping. I'm done. I'm not going anywhere. And I don't know. It makes me mad. Okay, it boils my blood. So they're walking around. They reunite with Axel this time. Okay, he's the one who jumps out of a corner and he's like, it's just me. Come on, let's go. And then TJ jumps around the corner again. I don't know what it is with these guys jumping around a corner. And Axel smacks him in the chest with the biggest log. I don't know how he didn't break all of his ribs. But he's like, oh, ow. All right, anyway, come on, let's go. So they try and go back to the elevator to get themselves back up. But the elevator magically isn't working. And I'm assuming Harry Styles had something to do with that. So instead of going to the rail cars, which are working, they decide to climb up a rusty old ladder instead. So they start climbing up the ladder. The mustache man's girlfriend literally stops 3 times and says that she's not going any further. And right as they're getting to the top, a body comes falling from an unknown location, okay? And he's got a rope around his neck. And he falls and it rips his head right off and the body keeps going. All right, pretty gruesome stuff, but cool practical effects. Once again, very well done. So yeah, now the class clown is dead. That was the class clown. His head got ripped off of his body. And they're like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't climb the ladder. So they climb back down and start heading to the rail cars, which is where they should have gone to begin with. And they're walking. All right, Axel is behind them, and they hear this loud noise and a splash. And apparently, there's just water down there that's 60 feet deep. I don't know. So they turn back. Axel's gone. They see his little headlamp, dimly glowing in this brown water, and they see water bubble, air bubbles, come up. And Axel's dead. He drowned. Okay. He fell into water and drowned immediately. I don't know how he couldn't swim. He can't tread water. I don't know. But he's dead now. Axel's gone. And TJ's like, what a shame. Anyways, let's keep going. It's too late for Axel. It's 60 feet deep. Sorry, Sarah. I guess I'm your only option now, huh? So they start going. They go over to the rail cars, but oh no. They split up again. I don't know why. There's a fork in the road. He's like, you guys go that way. I'm going to go this way instead. So TJ goes into a separate tunnel from the 2 girls. They hear this loud noise once again, a bunch of rocks fall, they go call his name, he didn't answer. And he pops out of the corner again, oh my god. But it turns out it was actually Harry Warden, with a pickaxe again this time, and he stabs the mustache woman's girlfriend in the chest and she dies. She's out of the way, she's not complaining anymore, she gets to join her boyfriend now, congratulations. So now it's just Sarah, because we don't know what happened to TJ, he's like gone now apparently, but oh, just kidding, he pops around a corner again. There's a lot of corner popping. Okay, it's getting a little old at this point. But TJ's alive, and he's looking a little shady now. So Sarah and TJ finally make it to the rail cars, and he unnecessarily dives. He launches his entire body into the rail car that is literally going 1 mile an hour up a slight hill. Okay, it was so it was really funny. It was so unbelievably exaggerated. It was like he was like in some action movie where like the whole mine's gonna blow up, but it's not. Nothing's happening to him. Except Harry Warden does literally walk. He walks up to it and climbs into the back. TJ and Harry have the most pathetic fight scene I have ever seen in my life, okay? Harry's got the pickaxe, TJ has a shovel, and it's like the saddest fight I've ever seen. It's supposed to be like really like action-packed and oh my god, I hope he survives, but I'm kind of rooting for everyone to die anyway, so I don't really care what happens. Terrible. And they end up all jumping off, and I just want to say that I don't even know why they were using the rail cars when they could walk faster than that thing was going. If they had just ran, they would have been out and they would have been fine. Okay, none of this would have happened at all. They literally could have just ran out of the mines. There is no need for those cars. But he's blocking all of these super action-packed swings of a pickaxe from Harry, who's still dressed as a miner and breathing like Darth Vader. And they go into this keep out, like, warning, don't go in this little hallway, and they go in it anyway, and they have this big fight, and he keeps, like, swinging his pickaxe. It's getting stuck in the wall. And then Sarah rips his mask off, and oh my god, it's Axel! Crazy. It's crazy stuff. It was Axel the entire time. Harry doesn't actually exist. It was Axel. It was Axel. It turns out he can swim. He didn't actually die. Oh my god. Mind blown, I know. Because he was swinging his pickaxe everywhere and literally destroying everything. The whole cave. Concave's on top of him. TJ and Sarah make it out alive. And I was not rooting for TJ this entire time because he's kind of a creep. He would literally just stare at Sarah from across the room, like in every single scene, and not say anything, which is creep behavior. So I was hoping that TJ would die, but he didn't. So Axel gets stuck, and the police arrive just in time, and oh wow, look, they used their brain and just walked into the mine. Okay, because they walked faster than the rail car was going, and they all start digging Axel up, and they're like, oh my god! His arm sticks out. He's alive! And Sarah runs because she's like, I have to see him. I have to see my boyfriend. It's like, dude, he just killed everyone you know. Everyone you know he just slaughtered. And you want to go hold his hand while he's being dug out from the rubble? Okay. So she goes, she tries to grab his hand, but he grabs her wrist, and he saws his arm off and snaps it off. And then runs down into the depths of the mine. So she's holding his arm, and he's like kicking his heels and walking. He kind of reminds me of like the Leprechaun from the Leprechaun movies. Great movies, by the way. He's kicking his heels. He's laughing hysterically. He's like, Sarah, my bloody Valentine. And he skips off into the sunset of darkness in the mine, and we never see him again. And we get information that, you know, the real Harry Warden, who was actually real, I lied, killed the supervisors, as you recall from me talking about that at the beginning of the video. But one of those supervisors was poor old Axel's papa. It was his old man, and he watched it happen. He watched Harry carve his father's heart out because he didn't supervise enough. And that led him to take on the role of Harry, because apparently Harry died 5 years prior to this whole incident. So Harry was a real guy, but he's dead now. He's dead, he's gone, he's been dead for 5 years. Axel chose to take on the role of the slasher. Now he's a mine dweller. He lives in the mines now. And that's it. There you go. My Bloody Valentine. Yeah, did you have fun? People seem to really like this movie. I didn't think it was too bad. I've seen it before. This isn't my first time. This is my second time, although it felt like my first because I forgot literally everything that happened because I watched this like 4 years ago. Not too bad. Okay, it's a nice little Valentine's Day movie. I like the first part of it with all of the, I like the kills in the first half. I love the decorations. All right, I like the feeling that it gives me. It's very nice to see all of the Valentine's Day decorations. If the world decorated for every holiday, no one would be depressed. Okay, I am almost positive. If the streets looked like Cupid had explosive diarrhea all over them, like the world would be such a better place. It would be so cheerful. Okay? If we decorated everything like we do Christmas, but better for every holiday, it would be amazing. Okay? And that's what they did. And I really like the first half. The second half where they're in the mine, I'm kind of like, okay. I don't know. It was a little boring in parts. I thought it was kind of funny. The kills are really cool. The practical effects are really awesome. I left a lot of the lore and stuff out, so if you want to go see this movie, definitely go do that. Don't use this as a way of watching the movie, okay? Because this is good. It's a nice little 80s movie. And if you want to see, happy teenagers who are in love get torn apart brutally, then go watch it, okay? Thank you all for watching this first ever Valentine's Day special, and I hope I brightened your day. If you're having a terrible day, I hope I made it better, because guess what? I'm having a bad day too, and that's okay. So once again, subscribe, okay? Do me a nice little favor, make me happy. Give a nice little subscribe, but only subscribe if you like the video, okay? Go check out my channel. I got a bunch of other reviews on terrible movies. This isn't a terrible movie, wasn't implying that. I have reviews on actual terrible movies, and extreme movies, and non-extreme movies, and physical meter review, whatever you want, okay? It's cool stuff, go check it out. Follow me on Instagram, okay? Do whatever you can to support me. Comment down below, I will answer you, okay? We can strike up a conversation, if you will. Now that you're watching to the very end of the video, thank you very much, and Gerald here has he's got a nice little surprise for you. If you comment down below, carve my heart out, you will get pinned, all right? Nice little gift from Gerald. Thank you, buddy. Cheer up. Cheer up, Tyke. You'll have your time. It's just not right now. That's all I gotta say, okay? Because that applies to me too. So, have an amazing day. Have an amazing Valentine's Day. If it's bad, I hope I made it good, and if it's good, I hope I made it even better for you. So I hope to see you in a past or future video. You guys warm my heart.